Welcome to Freda Chando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to thank you for your continued support to this channel, and I take it with a measure of humility. Allow me, with the same profound humility, to request you to subscribe to our channel if you have not, and please don't forget to click the notification bell and give our videos many likes. Ever since the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, left office, this administration has never seen anything good about him. They have said that Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake brother Raila Odinga presided over the detriment of our economy for the period of that Uhuru was in power for the second term. But there is a report that was released by World Bank that contradicts what Gachagua has always told the nation. The report is focusing on the economic aftermath of the corona pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. And Uhuru Kenyatta won special accolades for the fiscal measures that he put in place. And one of the things that the World Bank could not help but to notice was the fiscal subsidies that Uhuru Kenyatta put in place. You remember in 2020, Uhuru Kenyatta froze any kind of interest or charges on the CRB. And this reigned for a period of 1 year. Together with the former governor of Central Bank, they announced that they realized that Kenyans were going through hard time, and most of the Kenyans were going to borrow from online loan lenders and all that, and they removed any interest on CRB. And I think this was very commendable, and even the World Bank noticed it. The World Bank also noticed that Uhuru Kenyatta removed charges on mobile bank charges, because during the corona pandemic, the World Health Organization was encouraging nations to encourage their citizens to shy away from using cash, because corona spreads by touching something that an infected person has also handled. So people are being cautioned not to use cash. So the president realized that Kenyans were mainly going to start using maybe M-Pesa, withdrawing your money from a bank to your phone or phone to your bank, and they froze any kind of charges. And the World Bank noticed this and said that these physical subsidies really helped to alleviate the dire situation that was then. And the World Bank also noticed that there were several measures that Uhuru Kenyatta put in place to cushion local investors not to run away, not to go into losses, because the situation had been ravaged beyond repair. And the World Bank said that Uhuru Kenyatta falls in top 10, among top 10 presidents or leaders who put in place such wonderful measures to cushion their citizens. The last thing that the World Bank noticed was the smooth handover power to his successor. And the World Bank noticed that the election that has just ended was hotly contested. And even though Uhuru Kenyatta had his own choice, he did not cling to power, because it was noticed that most African nations, under the circumstances that Uhuru Kenyatta found himself on, could attempt to stick to power after his choice has not succeeded. And this always plunges a country in economic and political turmoil. And they said that Uhuru did a good thing. And they're saying that as a result of this smooth handover of power, investor confidence increased, and even the citizens at least has a choice now to continue growing the economy. Even though that is a story for another day, it is debatable, but they say it was a good thing, and you would also agree with me that handing over power smoothly is one of the things that Uhuru Kenyatta should be commended about. But why really is this story very pertinent? It is important because we have had the administration accusing the president as if there isn't anything good that he did. They have always said that Uhuru Kenyatta presided over state capture, that every department of the nation was under the capture of President Uhuru Kenyatta. You name it, KRA, the Kenya Airways, every department, KWS, they have claimed that Uhuru Kenyatta captured every department, and they were dancing to his tune, and they are saying there's a lot of corruption that was going on in those departments to benefit Uhuru Kenyatta. And they have said that it is Uhuru Kenyatta himself who brought this country into its economic detriment. And so when I saw that report, I thought, who between the two is telling us the truth? Is it the World Bank? Is it the current administration? And I want to believe that it is the current administration, because they were giving a report not only for Kenya, but they were naming other leaders who also placed measures that helped cushion their citizens from the ravaging pandemic. And they also added that the Russia and Ukraine war made things even worse, because the price of fuel went up, and when the prices of fuel go up, you know what that means. The prices of other commodities go up. Every little thing that Uhuru Kenyatta did has been abandoned. Whether it is subsidies on food, subsidies on fuel, has been abandoned. While the World Bank is praising Uhuru Kenyatta for placing subsidies on fuel, our government abandoned that fuel. While the World Bank is praising Uhuru Kenyatta for giving subsidies on commodities like unga, where the millers, he had a meeting with the millers and he subsidized for them the wholesale pricing so that they can also pass that price to the consumers. The current administration did away with the subsidies, and they have placed a pay bill number so that Kenyans can help buy food for their fellow suffering Kenyans. And it looks like our administration is still really busy and obsessed by this mere fact to paint the former president in bad faith. And the long and short of the story is, we should now shy away from politics and focus to work, because even the external eyes are able to see that Uhuru Kenyatta did a good job. Kenyans know that Uhuru did a good job. Not that he was perfect, but there are measures that he tried placing to help Kenyans. In fact, during the same corona pandemic, acting on an intelligence report, Kazi Mtaani was unveiled, because very many youths had lost their jobs, so they were given something to do so that they can have money in their pockets, at least to buy basic commodities. That has been done away with. And you know the result. I need not to mention that even the SS unit that was under the command of Kinoti was abandoned, and the result was, for that period when they went public and said that they had disbanded that unit, Kenyans were left to suffer in the hands of criminals. So the administration is being called upon to ensure that they don't just throw away everything that was initiated by the previous government. Ruto was in Machakos yesterday, and I heard the governor of Machakos, Wavinya Ndeti, requesting that he completes the projects that were left by the previous regime. And that will be the norm, because if you abandon every project and you start afresh, you mess up. How I pray that the government gets down to work and forget about the campaigns and this obsession of making Uhuru Kenyatta look bad. So by this report, ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Kenyatta has been exonerated. And I believe that from today onwards, this administration will start telling the truth about the economic situation and what has happened. And that is my take, ladies and gentlemen.